Oh, rise, comrades. That's as far as into the. That's as offensive as I'm gonna get tonight for this one. Arise, comrades. There, I've quoted not only the most used word in the songs from Alexander Nevsky, but also used a term that I think is overused in Russian culture, or people who think they know about Russian culture, like me. And there you go. Anyway, it's late, it's night, it's late night Criterion. And yeah, here we go. Number 87, Alexander Nevsky. Are we at 87? Wow, we're at 87 right now. This is part one of the Eisenstein, the Sound Years. This is part of a box set that came out. So technically, and for some reason the box set is given the spine number 86. So I don't know what that's about. We'll talk about the spine. I do want to discuss the way to do the spine numbering when we get to the the wrap up at the end of the season, which is coming actually in a couple of weeks. Actually, probably will be done in about 2 weeks. Probably we'll be done with number 100 in about 2 weeks. And yeah, but anyway, let's talk about Alexander Nevsky. This is I guess Mr. Eisenstein. What's his first name? So I don't even know what Eisenstein. Oh, let's just call him. Oh, Sergei. It's on the front of the disc. Sergei Eisenstein. I can't even say his name. It's late. It's almost like 2:35. It is 2:35. Anyway. So, let's say it's Russian, 1938, 108 minutes, black and white, Russian, yeah. And it is a talkie, there's sound, and there is dialogue in it, but I feel like I think a lot of the dialogue the original track got wiped and was re-recorded, because there's a lot of scenes where, like, you'd think there would be sound effects, but there's just music, and so it's like, there's a lot of, there's scenes where he didn't shoot the sounds, the ambient sounds. He just relied on just music put over these scenes that he didn't want the sound, which made sense. I mean, maybe he couldn't afford that much, to record that much. He could only record scenes that, that relied on dialogue, stuff like that. But anyway, let's talk about this movie. This one wasn't too bad. It's Alexander Nevsky. He was a prince. And as far as I can tell, it's about this prince who saves like this town of Novgotten or something. This part of Russia, this part that was invaded by the Germans, or the Teutonic Knights, as they're called, and they're just torturing everybody, just throwing their babies into fires, and it's just some scary stuff, And basically, they call on him, and he just totally comes in full force and takes his army and just slaughters all the knights, and throws them out, and just, in fact, a good 30 minutes of the film, a good 45 minutes of the film is just him fighting people, There's this huge battle on this ice. Battle of the ice is on the ice. It's like this frozen tundra kind of place, and the knights and the armies just smash, and it's like they just tear into each other, and that's pretty much what you watch for about 40 minutes, at least 40 minutes of the film, with little sprinkles of dialogue thrown all around, And yeah, sadly that's about the extent of the plot. I mean, Eisenstein. I think I thought that as far as the acting, there's not much to say on the acting about Alexander Nevsky, the man who played him. I don't know his name, or if that's him as Alexander Nevsky. He's a pretty good actor. But he's pretty dramatic, not nice touches. As far as I guess more can be said about Eisenstein. Just the little things he did, and of course the score by Prokofiev, whose music, sadly, I don't know as much about as much as somebody like Mussorgsky or another. I think Mussorgsky's the only other like Russian composer, if he is Russian. I don't even think he's Russian. I think he's Hungarian. Crap. Oh well. Back out of that one slowly. Anyway, but yeah, the score. I mean, the score is it's pretty cool, and and there's some songs in there. Arise, arise, that plays for like 10 minutes. They just keep singing the same verse over and over and over and over and over again. Ooh, Lord. But anyway, that's like I said, this score. There's little touches where he uses sound effects, like little touches in the score where like there's a little bit of humoresque, like the scene where like this guy's like drowning and puts like little like bassoon, or I think it's like a bassoon or oboe. Very comical. Let's talk a little more about that in this multimedia. Russell Merritt's multimedia essay on the Einstein-Prokofiev collaboration. Once again, and we haven't had this in a while, we get white people talking about other races. Once again. Boom, 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 boom. It's just, oh my god, this guy is nerding himself the fuck out in this essay. But let's finish the film. So yeah, basically, as far as what do we give this one? What shall we give it? I thought it was it was entertaining. It was a little confusing at times. I felt like I needed to know a little bit of the history before I watched this, but in the end, I thought it didn't hit any really brick walls and had some good dialogue in it. I thought the quote at the end, which I can't remember right now, but I thought the quote was a really nice way to end the movie. I give it a B. I'll give it a solid B. Just some things were a little. Just some of the scenes, like I said, the scenes. I think that the one thing that really hit me was when they throw the babies into the fire. I was just like, ooh, gosh, it's just it's a bit torturous, a bit much for me, and just some of the repetition in the score was a little like that Arise thing and all that. But apart from that, great story, and that's pretty much it. B. Give it a B. Supplements, audio essay, blah blah blah. Multimedia essay, like I said, a white guy talking about Russian music because nerding himself the fuck out. And then there's this is reconstruction of Eisenstein's unfinished film Veshid Meadow by the Eisenstein Museum's Noam Kleiman plus scholar Jay Lada's photos and documents from the set. Basically, I guess it was some film that Eisenstein hadn't finished. He had done a bunch of drafts, and there were a bunch of versions produced, and I guess the Russian film board complained too many times, and it ended up being re-edited and edited, and then he just said, I guess he threw it away or gave up. Or I think they seized it and deleted all the copies of it. And it wasn't until the mid-60s, I think the 60s, when Eisenstein's widow said she kept frames from the film. And so it was the beginning and end of every shot, frames from each one. And so they made reconstructions of them using just using a new score and dialogue and subtitles and stuff like that as to what's going on. But because of that, because there was no script and they didn't know any of the dialogue, there were different versions of it. But it was based on some story about some little boy who watches his father kill his mother and ends up ratting on the father, and then he becomes a communist and builds a clubhouse for a shrine for God or something. I don't know what this guy's on. All I can say is Alexander Nevsky was way more interesting than the thing. I mean, it was a reconstruction. You got to give it a little bit, but all the creepy kids smiling, very cheerful. It felt like a really bad communist propaganda film, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's why it got banned. Because of how the film, how they portrayed it, or how they perceived it, rather, not portrayed. They perceived it as, something that was a little too political. Because of that, they trashed it. So yeah, not that interesting. I mean, it's interesting if you want to see it, if you've ever always wanted to see that thing. The supplements, they kind of slacked on this one. Drawings and production skills, blah blah blah. Yeah, but the film pretty good. I give it a B. And that's it for me. So let's talk about the future. Tomorrow, no review tomorrow, but I will be watching Ivan the Terrible Part 1. And I'm not going to do a review for that one because for some reason, it didn't get a spine number on it. Apparently, if you buy Eisenstein the Sound Years, which you can still get at the Criterion Collection website for I think $65-70, I guess 86 is Eisenstein the Sound Years in its completion. Alexander Nevsky is 87. Ivan the Terrible Part 1 doesn't have a number. Then Ivan Terrible Part 2 is 88. I think that's because Eisenstein preferred Part 2 to Part 1. After Part 1, he felt there was more he could do, and so he did Part 2, and then that's why I think Criterion decided to add Part 1 in there as like a bonus feature, of literal bonus feature presentation kind of thing. So I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, but either tomorrow or Tuesday. Maybe I'll do both Part 1 and Part 2 on Tuesday. But we'll have the review for Ivan Terrible Part 2 on Tuesday. So probably the tentative plan is tomorrow we'll do Part 1, then Part 2 on Sunday, and we'll do the review. And I'll mention Part 1 if it refers to Part 2, if it in correlation to Part 2. And then Monday, number 89, Sisters, Brian De Palma. Number 90, and Tuesday, or maybe we might actually, there's a chance we might do this on Sunday as well. We might do a two on Sunday thing for Sisters. And then we'll do Monday. On Monday, we'll do Qui-Gon, because my Tuesday might be a little busy, actually, so we might not have time. And Qui-Gon's 161 minutes, so not sure if we'll have time for this on Tuesday, but we'll see. And then 91, The Blob, tentatively Wednesday, but we might do this on Tuesday too. And then 92, Fiend Without a Face. And then 93, Black Narcissus. And then 94, I Know Where I'm Going. 95, All That Heaven Allows. And I highly doubt that I will get the recent reissue of it from the library or Link Plus before we get to this. So more than likely, we'll just have to come back to it. Like I said, if I like it, I'll throw it in the pot. I'll throw it on the wish list and pick it up sometime soon. But for now, we'll just do the original version. And then the last 5, whatever they are, I forget the name. I forget what there's some movie, and then I know 97 is Do the Right Thing. Then 98 is Antonellini's La Ventura. And then 99 is Gimme Shelter. Rolling Stones, Gimme Shelter. And then, of course, 100 is Beastie Boys Video Anthology. So we will have this done. So there's a chance I'm gonna try and actually do like one a day until we get these done. Which, I don't know. I mean, and so this one kind of fell apart right there. But anyway, we're just gonna watch. The reason why I didn't show you, by the way, Ivan the Terrible Part 1 or 2 is because the thing hasn't even shipped yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, rather than put this off, I'm just gonna do it without. I checked on Criterion, and there's some deleted scenes for Part 1, but Part 2 only has, I think, a multimedia video essay about something that we can wait. We can just pass. Just let that, just throw that away for now. Anyway, so that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Well, no, we will see you Sunday for Ivan the Terrible Part 2. And then after that, all these criterions. Oh god, look at these criterions. Look at these freaking criterions. Anyway, until then, it's late, so let's say good night.